Let's play.
Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Let's Play Sacred 2 for the PC, with me, Teddy Ruxpin. Pretending that the killers when they probably Teddy Ruxpin soft. Yeah, you know, whatever. So, here we are again. We're just starting to get into the desert. I think I may have thrown out a spoiler. Did I mention that we were going to the desert next? Anyway, it's an RPG. You knew there had to be a desert because it's an RPG, right? This would really suck if you didn't have boots. Look at these rocks. I don't know if you've ever gone hiking with the wrong shoes, but I think it might mean something to you. Does that mean something to you? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the desert's pretty big. I prefer the desert to the swamp. There is an area of the swamp that I kind of enjoy, which is, I'll show you, southeast area around there. Good for grinding. Lots of mobs that have give a good amount of XP. But overall, I find I don't like how dark the swamp is, and the lightning is a fucking abomination to man. And I wish it just didn't exist, because it gives me a headache. It really, I swear, it gives me a headache. And I don't know, it seems worse on the console version. I could be wrong, but I really hate when I'm going through the swamps for the main quest, because then you really have no choice. I don't know why they did that effect for lightning, but it's too dramatic. The contrast between the flash of light and the flash of dark is just way too much, and maybe it's realistic. I don't know, but I mean, sometimes realism isn't good. I mean, if my character gets kicked in the balls, I mean, you know, realism is what it is. But I'm good, you know. I don't need to be kicked in the balls. I'll take your word for it, you know. Wouldn't you rather take the butcher's word for it? I mean, you could stick your head up a butcher's ass, but oh man, that was like the best movie ever when I was a kid. Me and my friend Eric Eggerter, man, we just sat down and watched that one day, and just, oh man, we laughed our butts off, man. Great times. We also I also played Phantasy Star 4 with Eric. We had a marathon session when he had the Sega channel at his mom's house, and I was over there. That's where the whole Jeremy's house. You probably don't even remember, but yeah, like, because I used to go over there. Like, I had fun, and I like. I guess, you know, I wouldn't even say I like his parents. I love his parents. They're awesome. Unfortunately, his stepdad died, you know, a few years ago. But, yeah, we would, that is a bad thing, but I guess I don't really need to bum you out. You don't know him, so. He was a good guy, though. He was awesome. Just, like, cool sense of humor and, like, a practical joker. And, he's just a pretty cool guy, which was, like, cool to me, because a lot of the male role models that I had in my life were just, like, insecure assholes who, like, yeah, just couldn't not, like, ruin everything all the time by just having problems with everybody. And yeah, I don't know, I didn't see a lot of, I mean, it's weird the way that the way you view your parents evolves as you know, grow older. I mean, my parents had a pretty contentious divorce, which was rough on me, and you know, I guess, but you know, you start to see. I mean, I used to only see the negative things about my dad, and I don't know, the only thing I would say that I see now is, like, I see the good side of him. It's just that I can't even really explain the way that my dad is. Like, I wrote a whole, like, short story about this, because you just can't explain. Some things, it's just like, well, I was about to equate this to the time that I, well, this is hard to, articulate, because what happened a couple years ago, my mom took me on a trip to Nebraska, which she kind of shanghaied me into this trip, which was for the funeral of a relative that I don't think I ever met, and the timing was a little bit annoying because I was trying to look for a job, and I actually got a call back while we were on the road. But anyway, the point of this is not to complain about missing out on a job as a janitor. So, but what happened, I was, so we stayed at my cousin's house in Nebraska, which is kind of an old house, and one night I was in that house, and I got up around, like, midnight to use the bathroom, and everybody was asleep, and I went to the bathroom, and I sat down to pee, as I do, because I'm lazy and I like to sit down when I pee. And I'm just gonna be unapologetic about that. I don't care. I would rather be lazy, and, you know? But so, there I was, sitting down, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, with nobody up and no footsteps or anything, the door to the bathroom just opened, like, the knob turned, rather brusquely, like, you know, I'd say it was like the way that somebody would open a door if they'd been living in a house for like a super long time and they just weren't even thinking about it. It was just like they were just absentmindedly like, I'm gonna go through this door, it's my house, and you know, it was just like bam bam, you know, knob turned, door open, nobody there, fucking nobody there, and nothing there. Like, it wasn't like, ooh, I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. I've come back to tell you that you left your food in the microwave. And if you don't get it out, it's gonna be really gross. And it's never gonna taste the same the second time you microwaved it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get your food out of the microwave. I've gotta go back to the underworld now. I just came to tell you about getting your food out of the microwave. Ghost! Ghost! Yeah. So, it wasn't like that. It was just, I don't know, it was just like, yeah, the door popped open. And then, of course, you know, I'm not like this sort of person who's immediately going to be like, oh my god, that was a ghost. I was like, that was really frightening. So I walked around the house and I was like, you know, tried to find all the reasonable explanations. I looked to see if anybody actually was up, and I checked to see if there were any animals out and about and all that sort of thing. And nope, there were not. These things do a ton of damage, so probably going to be advantageous for me to mod my Raging Nimbus soon to, I think, probably slow them down more, because we're not going to want to melee with them. Even though we have a buff that gives us some armor, it's not really like that. I did forget to use my defensive buff, though. So yeah, I looked all around the house for, you know, to see if there were any animals that could have opened the door, and see if there was any people around. But then, you know, of course, an animal could not have opened the door because, you know, the knob turned and everything. But, yeah, man, I didn't find anything. But the weird thing about it is, so it's like, I guess that was a ghost or whatever it is that we call ghosts, but like I can't really say I saw a ghost. I feel like I experienced a ghost, I guess, but I don't know how to explain that, because, you know, it's like if I say, yeah, I saw a ghost, then, you know, what are you going to say? Well, what did it look like? Okay, well, I didn't actually see a ghost. But, did I have a point when I was doing that? Because usually I'd say, like, you know, the point to me is that you don't, like, you don't have all the answers, you don't know, you know, you think you know what exists and what doesn't exist and what's possible and what's not possible, but, you know, we could be wrong. And, personally, I cannot say that I believe that there's, you know, that everything in the world is perfectly explainable through, you know, natural phenomenon, though, you know, I suppose I should say phenomena. I don't even know. It's one of those weird words. Like, Greek words, I guess, are like, aren't they? Isn't it Greek words that are just, like, hard to conjugate? Or, you don't conjugate nouns. I don't remember how that is referred to. Pluralize and things like that. Right? Silly video gamer. Conjugation is for verbs. So if you open these, you get a zombie. No treasure in those for this whole thing. And they look like the really nice chests that have a bunch of goodies in them normally. I don't know if I'm going to fight all these because they won't stay dead. Let's see how much XP they give. Is he dead yet? He did not give me any XP. He's still not dead. This is fun. So he's a mummy, apparently. Mummy! No, that wasn't worth it. I'm not going to open any more of those. I don't like undead. So apparently on the computer, I've seen, if you go to Dark Matters, and I'll make it, either make a video or I'll put a link in a video, to point you towards the Dark Matters forums, because there's a whole bunch of, topics there to help you out with the game if you're playing this game, and there's also, if you're playing the PC version, there's a lot of examples for modification, and basically all you have to do is replace a text file. There's also a big community mods patch where they put in lightsabers and stuff into the game. So I might show that off sometime. Definitely not until we beaten this game, at least in silver, because I don't want to compromise these files. But if you go on to Dark Matters, you'll find various mods and things like that. And the reason this comes up is because I was thinking about the undead. So that's one of the things that is a mod that you can find on there, is a mod to make undead not respawn. But I do have to say this, because if you're used to, like, World of Warcraft, then when I say mod, you're thinking, like, maybe it's like you download from Curse, and you put the file in your interface folder, and you're good to go. And all you have to do is, you know, choose to turn it on or off in your menus. But it's not like that for Sacred. They're mostly text files and stuff. And what you're going to find, for instance, for the undead, is really just instructions on how to make it so the undead don't come back to life. Which involves, there's a file that has all the data for all the creatures in the game. And apparently I still need to be over there for something. These sorts of things drive me crazy sometimes, you know? So what it is just instructions for what to look for, because there's a file that has all the creatures and not everything about them, so you can't change every aspect of the creatures, but it has some basic data on the creatures in those files that you can modify And one of those statistics is, I think, something like lives or times unconscious or something like that. So you have to like search and replace all of those entries with like a Word file or something, and make all those 0. And then apparently there's even some that if it doesn't have an entry, it'll default to them having 1 extra life. So you have to be pretty thorough. It's not like just installing a single file. So unless you're like really super into this game and you just don't want to deal with undead spawning over and over again, or coming back to life, then it's probably not going to be something you feel is like a worthwhile investment of your time. But man, I'm saying "but" a lot. It's like butter. That's the new name of my channel. My channel? It's like butter. Can we talk? Like, I don't even remember what that joke was about. You know, the whole coffee talk. I know it was Mike Myers, but the funny Mike Myers, not the Halloween Mike Myers. You know what I mean? Oh boy. I'm like trying to concentrate and commentate and play and stuff, and my room is like a goddamn oven right now. It is so freaking hot in here. And like, I really want to run a fan, but then that noise is going to be in the background of my videos, so I have to be like, nope, can't do that. Gotta just suffer. I like how that the Raging Nimbus just kills the little scarabs on its own. Scarabs die pretty easy, but they're not worth very much XP, so this would not really be a place to grind XP as far as I know. One thing that is going to be cool that I have realized is on higher difficulties, I believe the mob packs are larger, so we'll be seeing that. I think we will play some in an additional difficulty. But if you are watching at this moment, then I suppose you will now be privy to a, I guess, glance at my plans for the future of my channel. What I am thinking at the moment is that after I beat this game on Silver, I'm probably gonna go ahead and, geez, I was thinking I might do, an LP of Path of Exile, and, I'm trying to navigate, but I'm clicking on mobs instead of the place I want to move. Yeah, so I was thinking of LPing Path of Exile after I get done doing this, maybe part of the way into Gold, really don't know. Might just be playing it by ear on that. And then after that I was thinking Divinity 2 seems pretty fun. I played it a tiny amount, and that is kind of like, so far I've heard it described as a sort of hybrid between a Diablo-style game and Oblivion. It's much more story-focused in this game, and it seems pretty interesting. That said, okay, there are... Now they're telling me to go back here. There are some good LPs of that game already, but that's not necessarily a problem. I thought I might want to do it. I'm sure there's some good LPs of Path of Exile as well. But what are you gonna do? What? Oh, you fucking gotta be kidding me! It just wanted me to exit that fucking cave on foot? Are you serious? Okay. So, if the game is done trolling me... God, it is so hot in here. It's so hot. Oh, man. Surely you commiserate, but you cannot sympathize or whatever because you are not here. Which is probably good, because I'm not wearing pants right now. Oh, man. Now you know. Bezlonir is not wearing pants. But anyway, the original genesis, the point and the things that I was saying is that, yeah, there's more mob density at higher difficulties, which is kind of fun. So I'm gonna say, whatever character you're playing, when you start to get towards the end of Silver, if you can do so, you might want to start working on developing up a AoE skill, because you're gonna have a lot more fun in Gold and beyond if you have that AoE up.
Holy gods, will you teach the humans some respect?
Okay. I feel like I need a second defensive buff. I might do some leveling off camera. I've said I was going to do that a number of times, but it's not that I didn't intend to, but I just wound up playing the PS3 version of Sacred so much, or Sacred 2 so much, that I just haven't I haven't been playing the game on the PC off camera too much. The other day, like a couple days ago, I was working on trying to make a Temple Guardian that would really function with ranged weapons, because the Temple Guardian, he has a skill tree that seems like it would work. Like, all the skills sound like, all the combat arts sound like they would work well with a ranged weapon, but none of them. God dang it, shut up and get in my belly. Get in my experience pouch. I don't care what you have to say. Whatever it was, it might have been entertaining the first 20 times, but, you know. Anyway, none of it's as bad as it was in the previous game. And I almost died again. Do you know why I almost died? Because I thought my defensive cooldown was up, and I thought I used it. Let me take a look at it. That's not the one I'm using. It's Cascading Shroud. And I've started to mod it, but it's a 60-second cooldown. It only gives me 20 seconds of protection, so that's a problem. Yeah.
You won't get rid of me that easily.
I may have to, I don't know. Well, more armor lore points would help. That's not bad armor, it's not a ton. I'm gonna switch to my fire runes now. Fire relics. And, let's see. This is pretty much what I'm doing right now. Raise Mystic Stormite, Delphic Arcania. 1 level away from getting another mod point there, and 3 points there, so we'll probably go on all of them next level. I think, no, we don't get 5 skill points level yet. I think we only get 4. At level 50, I think you start getting 5 skill points a level. Man, how good would a ham sandwich be right now? You know? Like a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. If you ever just like, man, how good would a grilled ham and cheese sandwich be right now?
I guess the sun has fried your brains, human.
That used to be a classic when I was a kid, you know? Stay home, if I had to stay home sick from school, you know? Have some tomato soup with some, oh, watch out for these scorpions. They can do some damage. They do a lot of poison damage. And he's walking really weird, so it's going to be hard to avoid. Oh boy, this is bad. This is bad. These guys all do poison damage, which I don't mitigate very well. So I'm trying to maneuver and throw out some stuff. Don't like the animation speed on that very much. I'll just have to play like a caster for once. There we go. Good. Oh, my. Yeah, so I used to just have, like, some tomato soup and, you know, grilled cheese sandwich, whatever. Watch the Andy Griffith show. That was a long time ago. I don't think... I doubt that they show the Andy Griffith show very much anymore these days. Yeah, I'm experiencing some difficulty in this area now. So I probably should level a bit. You don't have to, it just depends on your character. In the early difficulties, it is an option to do a little bit of leveling to ease your course a little bit. I don't think that we're under-leveled here. Possibly a little under-geared, that may be. I think if you're under-leveled, I only have experience with this on the console, but if you're under-leveled, this little rune thing underneath the enemies will start turning orange and then red. So that's how you'll know if you're under-leveled. I think these guys have been rooting me. Thanks for that. This character is pretty interesting, but I don't know if I would say it's my favorite. I think I mentioned this before, as I've been playing a great deal on the PS3. I really avoid spell casters on the PS3 because the game just doesn't seem to be able to handle it, and once I get around level 25 or so, and my spells really start like getting big and hitting a lot of mobs, the game just starts like slowing down pretty bad, and I think it even crashed a couple times, so it's not really a good look. Anyway, here we are in El Dorag, I think? Corm. El Dorag is up there. It's like, the guy who named it was like, what a drag, this place is a drag. They're like, okay, well that's the name of this place. Oh, well, see what you did there. Why didn't you just name it Shit Town? Isn't that a live song? Not like it was sung live, but the band live, you know. How's that going? Anyway. I'm just gonna, you know what, this is Bezlonir signing out of another episode of Let's Play Sacred 2 for the PC. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. That's not the button that makes me end my recording. Neither is that. Oh man. Oh boy, is there egg on life.